still. There it goes.
All right, so we have ourselves here a Pekin duck. And I'm gonna take it over here and weigh it. Close that freezer. Okay, this one is 5.39 pounds. I record the weight. I like to know what I'm getting here. And I'll take this bird over here. The way I like to do it, and there's lots of ways you can do it, but I like to start with the wings. So you pull it apart, and you see this little notch right here. This is what I'm cutting into right here. I'm going to cut a little bit of this skin away, and as I cut it away, it allows me to pull, and then I can see where the joint is, and then I cut right there in between the two joints, and it just goes right apart. So there's the wing piece. Set that aside, and then we do the other wing the same way. And I cut into it to find out where that joint is, pull it back, and then cut right in between the two joints there. And there's the second wing. And I like to go for the legs. So you have this little notch right here. That's what I'm looking at. And then I just cut right into it, and I loosen it up, and then I pull it so I can see where the joint piece is. And then I cut a little bit more. And then I cut this side, get some of the flesh away. There we go. Now we can really see the joint. And then I just cut it. There we go. And it's a nice duck leg. And then this side, I do the same thing. I find a little curvature there. Cut along there. And the skin back so I can see. Start pulling it apart. Cut a little bit more. Yeah, that's probably not a good thing to go at. There we go. And it's a little bit awkward on this side for me because I'm not a lefty, but there we go. Joint out of there. And between the two, and that's the second leg, and we set that aside. And then the breast. So I find the sternum here, the little breastbone right here down the center. I could feel it. Probably can't see it, but you could feel it. There's a little ridge, and I cut the right side of this one all the way down as close to the ribs as I can get, and I just kind of follow it down all the way down. And that's a nice big piece of duck breast meat. That's beautiful. I like to keep the skin on because when you cook it with the skin on there, it marinates the meat and makes the meat taste really good. Some people like to take the skin off and render the skin for duck fat to cook with, but then your meat will dry out and it doesn't taste as good. So that's why I like to keep it on there. And if you crisp up duck skin, oh my goodness, just crisp it up, put a little bit of salt on it, and it is wonderful. You know, if you like pork rinds, this is like 100 times better than pork rinds, and it's all natural. That pork rind you buy at the grocery store, I don't even think that's real pork, to tell you the truth, but maybe it is. Okay, so I'm gonna do the other breast the same way. And you can see I eat a lot. You know, I talk about fat and stuff, and I eat a lot of fat. I love fat. Fat is really good for you. Your brain is myelinated with fat. And without that, it can't even function. People actually can have a heart attack if they don't have enough fat in their bodies. So keep that in mind if you're thinking about heart healthy. Another beautiful piece there. And so I kept, when I processed this, I kept the neck on because I want to use the neck as part of the carcass for making stew later. But the skin, right here, I'm going to take the skin off because the skin again is great for crisping up for a nice little snack. Just put it in your oven on about 350, and you can lay this out there. It'll crisp up. a little salt on it. And then there's going to be a lot of grease dripped off of it. And then I save the grease. So I cook it. If you want to save the grease, you probably want to cook it lower, like around 250, depends on your oven. Because when you cook it at a lower temperature, the grease will be nice and it won't overheat. Because if you overheat it, it'll turn kind of a brownish color and you know you've overheated your fat. And you don't want that. You want it a real nice golden color. And it will be like that if you heat it at a lower temperature. Just takes a little bit longer, but it's really well worth it, and it's great for baking and cooking and frying eggs, whatever you want to do. Okay, so there's your duck skin, the underside. I check it out if there's like a lot of you know, things stuck to it, like glands or something. I'll just remove them because I don't really need that. And then I'm gonna put the skin over here and save it for later. Now I'm gonna cut the carcass, or the back piece, in half because just for easier storage. So I cut through the skin and then I snap it like that and then cut it the rest of the way. So this will be all stored together. And then we store this together. Sometimes with the duck wings, I will remove the wingtips. You can eat the wingtips, and some people love to eat the wingtips. I find it a little too tough for me, and we have pugs and they really love the wingtips, so I kind of give it to them. It's kind of their treat from this. So you find the joint, cut into it. They have a lot of tendons and other little things in here. So there's the wingtip, and that goes here for the puppies. And then we have this nice wing that's left over, and it makes a nice meal. Wings are one of my favorite because you can see all that skin on there and all that fat. Oh my goodness. You crisp that up. Oh, that is so good. So there you have it. A duck, and now you can package it however you want. I like to use glassware, as you can see over here, because then I can reuse it. I'm not throwing away plastic, and glassware is safer for you than plastic. I do use a little bit of plastic for the backs because I just don't have enough glassware that's large enough to accommodate this big thing. So that's the only reason I use the plastic for that. And it is a food saver because that plastic is the safest plastic that I've found. It doesn't have stuff in it that other plastics do that kind of give it that stinky smell, and sometimes you can taste it too. But this food saver is pretty good. So I like that. Thank you for checking us out.